Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Jeremy Jenkins, and I am an independent representative of the company Neumi.
Awesome. What attracted you to this product?
So the ingredient called glutathione is something that I've been fascinated with for many, many years. And I've always understood that it was very important because without glutathione, there is no life. It's actually one of the most studied molecules on the planet. More studies have been done about glutathione than even vitamin C. But it's always been a problem how to get it, right? Because it can solve so many problems. So when I heard that the company Neumi had nano-sized the glutathione molecule so that it could be absorbed sublingually, I was fascinated. I had to get my hands on this because I knew it would be an absolute game changer in the health industry.
What effects have you noticed?
So, actually, that's one of the coolest things about this, right? Is that with glutathione, I'm seeing all kinds of improvement because I know that my body's actually getting it, and they've studied glutathione levels in people, and you lose about 10% of your glutathione every decade as you age. So by the time you're about 50 years old, which I am, now I've lost about 50% of what I would have had when I was a young child. And ever since I started taking this product, I've noticed what we like to call stealth energy, because now I just feel younger. I not only feel younger, I think I'm also looking a bit younger.
Does it work for everyone?
So different people are going to have different effects, right? Different ways that they feel it. Some people notice things immediately the same day. Other people, it could take a month or two before they start to notice the effects, just depending on how toxic their body is, what different problems they've done. But the other thing it's doing is it's providing that glutathione, which is a building block for the cells to rebuild themselves and to heal and to grow and stuff. So it depends on where you're at and what's going on. Some people are going to notice it a lot sooner than others, but it's definitely recommended for everybody.
Why do you recommend this product?
So I recommend it because it's not so much the ingredients, right? Glutathione, obviously an amazing ingredient, but it really is the delivery mechanism. That's the key thing, because it doesn't matter what you're taking. If you're taking vitamin pills, if you're taking minerals, whatever kind of supplementation you want to take, it has to go through the digestive tract. And so we know, everyone probably heard this, that when you take vitamin supplements, you just go to the bathroom and you pee them out. Like, your body can't absorb them, right? And so the absorption level is just really, really low. Whereas with this, it doesn't matter if it's glutathione, it could be all kinds of things, like in the women's product. There's all kinds of herbs and other things for women so that they can deal with menopause, they can deal with their menstrual cycle, stuff like that. So it's a delivery mechanism for whatever kind of supplement that you might be interested in to help with your wellness. And glutathione just happens to be the principal one, but it's helping so many people in so many different ways.
So my name is Steve Scott. I was with American Telecast. I was founder of American Telecast back in 1976. We ended up bringing products of all kinds to the marketplace, billions of dollars in sales. We started with $5,000. And the thing that we did that was different than anybody else was it had to be a breakthrough product. For example, the Total Gym with Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley was a piece of fitness equipment that could replace free weights. It was safer than free weights, and it was superior to machines that lock you in certain rigid positions because of all these different things. But in 2006, I met a scientist from the Mayo Clinic. He was a medical doctor who was also a medical researcher, but he did work. He did instructive work for Mayo, and brilliant doctor, and he introduced me to a word that changed the whole direction of my life, and that word was glutathione.
Okay, so what is it about glutathione that makes it so special?
It's your body's miracle molecule. There's no life on Earth without it. No plants, trees, fish, birds, anything, people. It's manufactured by every cell in the body, and it's the first line of defense in the cell against just about everything. Glutathione performs over 400 functions in the human body. It's the most studied molecule in all of medical science, over 197,000 published studies currently. We couldn't live for 2 minutes without it. It detoxifies the cells, it chelates the heavy metals out of the cells, it protects your immune system. Your immune response is radically different if you have low glutathione levels versus high glutathione levels. So it's just amazing what it can do.
That's awesome. So what's the difficulty of getting glutathione?
So our number one, our glutathione levels decline as we age. Number two, different things can cause a shortage in glutathione, such as an illness, a disease state, injuries. They can actually drop levels of glutathione in our body, and replacing it's really difficult because glutathione is a very fragile molecule and cannot get through the stomach intact. So you can buy glutathione capsules at any health food store. Problem is, as soon as they hit the stomach, those glutathione molecules break. They have a little sulfhydryl arm that breaks right off, and now it's a broken molecule and the cells won't accept it. So most of it doesn't get accepted. What we've done is we have found a way to encapsulate glutathione molecules with water matrices instead of fats. So we don't add to the bulk. If this is a glutathione molecule and I encapsulate it with a fat, now this is the size that has to get into the cell, and it can't do it. On the other hand, if I poured water on that, you wouldn't see much difference in the size. That's our methodology. We have a technology that nobody else in the world has. And by doing that, the particle size is so tiny that it'll absorb right through the mucosa and the mucous membranes inside your cheeks, also in the venous cavity. And because of its tiny size, it can get through those tiny pores in the cells now and it's called direct infusion versus forced diffusion.
Wow. Okay. So it's called hydrostat.
Right. That's our technology.
Yeah. Okay. And so the comparison is really just that you've nanosized it, you've encapsulated it in pure water.
Yeah, nanosize doesn't mean anything to anybody. People think when you nanosize something, you've made it smaller. What we do, particles, they cling together in solution. So any nano process, what you have to do, you have to separate them, and then you have millionths of a second to encapsulate them in something to keep them from re-agglomerating. The rest of the world uses chemicals or fats so they won't re-agglomerate. And then those particles are smaller than the clump of particles. And what we've done, we found a way to do that with water so that we're not really increasing the size. Now the water encapsulation won't protect it through the stomach, but we don't care because we're getting absorption all the way down to the stomach. We get it in the mucosa, we get it there, we get it in the esophageal tissues, and once it's in the bloodstream, we're out of the bloodstream very, very quickly.
Okay. No, that's amazing. So I guess we just want to reiterate while we're talking about this, that this product is not a medicine. It's not something.
No, it's a supplement. It doesn't treat, diagnose, cure, prevent any disease state.
Wow. Okay. So how do you manufacture it, and how does someone actually use it?
Okay. Well, we manufacture it right here in our facility. We have our own processors for. We bring the water in. It's ultra pure water. It's about 40% more pure than a hospital IV, and then we do a little thing with the hydrogen molecules, and then it goes into a processor with the particles, and the particles are then separated through our processor, and the water clings to it and wraps around it. So we do it right here. We don't show people that because it's trade secret. Then all you do is swish it like a mouthwash, and then you swallow. And that's how it's delivered. It's delivered in the bloodstream while you're swishing. Then we have other component parts that also can tolerate the stomach, and that's why you swallow. And we do it in 75 countries with, a lot of people.
A lot of people. So 75 countries, a lot of people all across the world.
Yeah, every culture, every continent.
Benefiting from this amazing technology.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you, Steve. Appreciate
bet.
your time today.
My pleasure.
We'll let you know when this is ready to go.
Okay. Thanks, Jeremy.
All right.